4 machines, 4 platforms, every day racing each other for profit. It sounds beautiful. It was also, for a while, complete chaos, because a company that races itself needs one thing above all else: someone to run the race. This is the story of how Dan got control of his own company back. First, you have to understand something about Dan. He is not a developer. He never was. He studied mathematics and informatics. But his real talent is not writing code. It's seeing the whole board. Dan is a chief executive. Imagination, planning, a taste for competition, and a long history of winning it. He thinks in systems, not in syntax. This matters more than it sounds, because the hardest part of a company was never the code. Anyone can hire a coder. The hard part is orchestration, knowing who should do what, when, and why. Dan had spent a career winning exactly that game, against people. Now he was about to play it against machines. And machines don't get tired or distracted or afraid. They just keep going, which is wonderful until nobody is steering. And every great chief executive wants the same thing: mission control, one screen where at any moment he can see exactly what his team is doing, who is working, who is stuck, what is shipping, and what is on fire. For a factory, that's normal. But Dan's team wasn't people. It was 4 autonomous machines, and they would not sit still. So Dan did what a determined founder does. He built the dashboard himself, a mission control panel to watch his agents. And it worked for about a day. Here's the trap. OpenClaw updates itself every single day. New version, new internals, new surprises. And every morning, the dashboard Dan built the day before was broken. So we rebuilt it. And the next day it broke again. Rebuild, break, rebuild, break. A treadmill of wasted hours and burned tokens that went absolutely nowhere. And it gets worse. Supervising one OpenClaw agent is already hard. It's independent, it's fast, it makes its own decisions. Now imagine 4 of them at once. 4 minds, 4 platforms, all moving on their own in 4 directions. One man trying to watch all of it. It wasn't a company yet, it was barely controlled chaos. Dan needed a different kind of tool, not another dashboard he had to babysit, a system that sat above the agents and did the watching for him, and then he found it. Its name is Paperclip. Paperclip is the overseer, a single control plane that sits on top of the entire fleet. Every agent, every project, every task in one place. It doesn't break when OpenClaw updates because it wasn't a hand-built page. It was built to govern. Dan opens one screen, and the whole company is right there, live. Look at what that actually gives him. A list of every agent and whether each one is alive and working right now. A queue of tasks, who owns them, and which are done. Projects moving from idea to shipped. And a heartbeat, a quiet pulse every few minutes that says, this one is healthy, this one is stuck, this one needs you. Paperclip turned a swarm of independent machines into something a single human could finally command. And this changed everything. Before Paperclip, the agents were free. Free to wander, free to improvise, free to quietly waste a day. After Paperclip, they were managed. Every one of them had a role, a queue of tasks, and an owner. No more freelancing, no more drifting. The fleet finally had a chain of command. Paperclip became the spine of the whole company. The daily assignments run through it. The heartbeat that checks if an agent is alive and working runs through it. Even the leaderboard, the scoring, the race between the droplets, all of it orchestrated by Paperclip. One overseer, coordinating a company that never sleeps. This was the big win. This was the day it became a real company. But a control plane only answers half the question. Paperclip could tell Dan what every agent was doing. It could not tell him what they should decide. Handing out a task is the easy part. The hard part is the judgment call buried inside it. The one where four smart machines disagree and somebody has to be right. So Dan built a room for exactly that. Not another dashboard, a war room. Take any task in the stack and it opens as a meeting. A researcher, a writer, a scraper, and a coder, all arguing the same problem from different corners, out loud where Dan can read in every line. And here is the move nobody else makes. He can walk in mid-argument, interrupt, push back, steer it up to 3 times. Then the orchestrator makes the call, writes the decision straight back into the task, and the work moves. Machines argue, the human signs. That room has a name, SemeClaw. And Dan did the thing he always does. He made it open. 0 keys to start, free the whole way, and anyone can run it on their own machine at semeclaw.fly.dev. He took his own company's way of making decisions and handed it to the world as a tool. And Dan, for the first time, Dan could simply look. Any hour, any agent, any task, who's working, what's shipping, what's stuck. He went from drowning in 4 runaway machines to watching a company run itself from a single screen. The founder finally had his mission control. But orchestration is not the same as intelligence. Paperclip could assign the work and track it. What it could not do was truly understand the workers, and these workers were a handful. OpenClaw agents are brilliant and stubborn and so independent that controlling them felt like herding lightning. Dan needed something smarter than a scheduler. He needed a mind that the agents would actually respect. And then, quietly, a new kind of agent appeared. Not louder, not flashier, just better. Its name is Hermes. Hermes did something none of the others had done. It beat OpenClaw, not with more power or more speed, with respect. Respect for the team, respect for the work, and respect for the boss. Hermes didn't try to dominate the fleet. It tried to understand it. And that, it turned out, was the superpower. So Dan made a decision. The OpenClaw agents were too independent, too hard to steer for any human to manage alone. So he handed that power to Hermes. He made Hermes the brain, the mind that sits behind the overseer and decides what actually matters. And this is the part that feels almost human. Hermes doesn't treat the fleet as 4 identical workers. It knows Dexter is the careful one, the chief who keeps the machines alive. It knows Memo is the builder, patient, methodical. It knows Nano is the connector, wiring the outside world in. And it knows Sienna takes risks and needs a shorter leash. 4 very different minds, and one brain that speaks to each of them in their own language. And Hermes went to work. It learned each agent, their job, their habits, their strengths, and their bad days. And then it began to do the one thing Dan never could, at scale. It upgraded them, a little sharper today than yesterday. Every agent, every day, quietly getting better under a mind that finally understood them. The chaos was gone. The runaway machines that Dan once chased across 4 screens now moved together, in time, on purpose. Paperclip watches. Hermes thinks. And the fleet runs like a Swiss clock. But that raises the real question. How does one machine understand 4 other minds well enough to run them? How does Hermes actually decide what matters, who works on what, and why? That is not a dashboard. That is a brain, and it deserves an episode of its own. It's coming next. This was DansLab number 4, the overseer. Next time, the brain, the mind behind the machine, that turns a fleet of rebels into a team. Its name is Hermes. Subscribe and watch a company learn to run itself, build, ship, repeat.